Welcome to springlib.
The inverse of a function is often described in the following way. We create the inverse denoted by f to the negative 1 of a function f by reversing the roles of the input and the output f. For example, if f of 3 is 7, then f inverse of 7 is 3. So with numerical exchange, if we have g of x and we know g of x and f of x are inverses, then if we know that, for instance, 6, negative 5, negative 5, 6, 1, 9, 9, 1. So if the input is 4, that was the output of 4 here, and that must be going with negative 2. And the input of this function f would be the output of g if there are functions or inverse functions, and so that would be 7. 7, 8 goes to 8, 7 with its inverse. The graph of a function is given. Sketch in the same set of axes the graph of possible inverse of f. Is your sketch of an inverse a function? Can we find the inverse for this function? So what I would do is pick points that are somewhat easy to read. Maybe even still a critical point here, but okay, if we invert 0, 0, we get 0, 0. We just switch the order pairs around. If 1, 6 is on the function, then 6, 1 is on the inverse. If 1 point, I don't know, 1 point, maybe 2, 5, or 1.3, 6 point, that looks like 1.5 tick marks in each direction. So there'd be 6 and then 1.5 tick marks, and it looks like 1.5 tick marks. So it would go 6, 1.5 tick marks, 1, 1.5 tick marks. And that would be on the inverse. It looks like about 2.5, 3, so 3, 2.5 would be on the inverse function. If I pick the point like 4 and then it looks like maybe 2 tick marks, 0.2, not 0.2, but 2 tick marks, and then it would be 0.2 tick marks 4. So it would look like the following. Make it as smooth as you can. But it's going to be flipped on its side. Is this a function? No, because it fails the vertical line test. Can we find an inverse for the function? Yeah, we just did. You just invert points, but it won't be a function. Or we can make it a function if we restrict the domain. For instance, we could restrict the domain on the original function in order to have an inverse function.